Over to Ganesh.
Good morning. Permit me to start with a big namaste to all the Pan-India participants as well as the alumni from overseas. At the cost of repetition, I find the need to actually explain the concept of KYFA for the sake of the 30 plus first-time attendees today. KYFA stands for Know Your Fellow Alumni. And what is its significance? The significance lies in the fact that when the informal Banyan meeting started about four years ago, we found four major parameters which we had to counter. The first was that this great institution, in its 94th year of existence, did not have an alumni association to represent the 35,000 odd students who had passed out and who are doing well for themselves all over the world. Second was that the alumni themselves were not bonding with each other for the fact that there was no social media, and through the common postal system to be in touch with each other was very, very difficult. So the bonding amongst the alumni itself was missing. The third was that since the bonding amongst alumni is missing, the bonding with the school itself was missing. And it's a well-known fact that a strong alumni association is always good for any school to really do well and compete with other schools. And the fourth major parameter we had to counter was that we did not have a platform whereby we could communicate with why 35,000, even 100 of the alumni who were in touch with us. So therefore, we had to also develop a portal to address that need. So given these four parameters to overcome, we were also in search of a platform on which we could develop the superstructure to reach out to as many of the 35,000 plus alumni who were straddling the whole world. And we found that the best way to start off would be to connect with the other alumni and show that they are all over the world and they are in very strong positions and they're contributing to the economy of India as well as the world, and that they are competing with the others in the world. So the sense of pride in being a DTA product and the sense of gratitude to the system which made us what we are today was very necessary. And this medium, therefore, was best addressed by bringing the concept of KYFA. Second thing is that the KYFA program was started in July 2017. And since then till now, we've had a large number of DTA alumni who have done extremely well and who could be the role models for the youngsters to come. We've had the first woman Air Marshal of the Indian Air Force. We've had an entrepreneur who is now producing and distributing hygiene products, particularly in the water treatment area. We've had a social entrepreneur. We've had a couple of doctors, medical practitioners, and they're experts in their own field. We've had an advocate. We've had a network specialist, and so on. And we also had a retired IAS officer who is doing human service for the aspirational districts, students in the aspirational districts of the country. So this gave us a sense of pride that we belong to a community which has done very well, and therefore we must spread this further, and we adopted this KYFA program. Now coming to the speaker of the day. The speaker, Mr. Balakrishnan, as has been informally welcomed, he is a lawyer by profession, but his contribution is specifically in a new area of secretarial service. The importance of secretarial service, and that too to a person like Mr. K.K. Venugopal, who is the Attorney General of the country and who advises the government of India at the highest level, including the Prime Minister, into developing policies and framework of reforms, just like in the police reforms, which is crying out to be addressed. And we do hope that with all the efforts that Mr. Balakrishnan provides the support to this constitutional authority, Attorney General, we will see better days to come in terms of justice being delivered to the common man for all the good causes. Last week, we celebrated Janmashtami. Corona made sure that we had to do it in the confines of our homes, but we celebrated in great style in our respective homes. That Lord Balakrishna possibly made it sure that it's not just a coincidence that today we have a human Balakrishnan to address us and share with us his life journey from the time he passed school, along with his family, how he traversed his career journey, and today climbed up the ladder to serve the nation through the service rendered to a constitutional authority. So we are mighty proud of him, and I'm sure that his address will also inspire the same level of confidence in us and our associates, our alumni members all over the world to join in and restore the brand equity of DTA to the levels that we have seen in the past. With these words, may I introduce you Mr. Nurani Ramachandran Balakrishnan, Motibag 1983, and ask him to address all of us. Thank you, and over to Balakrishnan.
Thank you. Hello, good morning, and a warm welcome to everyone. I'm N.R. Balakrishnan from the 1983 Motibag branch. Before I proceed further, I would just like to slightly make a correction in the statement made by Mr. Ganesh Iyer that I am not a lawyer by profession. I am only assisting the constitutional authority, the highest constitutional authority, as his private secretary. Okay. I take this opportunity to thank the moderators of MEA DTA alumni for setting up this forum, which is enabling the DTA students from all branches to come together, interact, and know each other better. It has also given us a platform to share and express our vision for DTA and make a commitment to work for the future of the esteemed institution by sharing our differences. August 23rd, 1976, if my memory serves me right, was a momentous year in my life. It was in this year my long-lasting journey with DTA began. The year I joined the Motibag branch. Not only me, but my brothers and sister are also DTA alumni. My sister is present today in this meeting, and I am expecting my brother also to join shortly. A special thanks to Sri Ramakrishnan sir, the then principal, for having admitted me and my siblings without formally going through the process, but just asking a few questions. In fact, I got the opportunity to speak to him recently and was astonished after speaking to him. His memory was astounding. Each event was recollected in the best manner that was enacted during that time. Even a statement made by my mother while seeking admission for us was totally unbelievable, especially at the ripe age of 90. The atmosphere in the school during that time was great. It was more of a family atmosphere. The teachers were like our Periyapas and Attais, who would not only shower their affection on us, but also take us to task when we were wrong. The friends, our classmates, were like our cousins, fighting, laughing, crying, and enjoying the daily routine. While remembering all my respected teachers, I must mention about Mrs. Ganga Ganapati Raman, my first class teacher and my Tamil teacher. When I joined the school, I did not know how to read and write Tamil, except for the Tamil we spoke at home, the Palakkadan Tamil. The first term exams were hardly a week from the date I joined the school, and I literally cried when I received the Tamil question paper. Not knowing what to do, I had put my face down on the desk when Ganga teacher walked up to me and told me, just copy the question paper and leave it to me. I acted accordingly and got 5 out of 100. She then took it upon herself to teach me Tamil, and I used to go to her house in the evenings after school to learn Tamil. Not that I succeeded too much because of my own shortcomings. I was able to pass in Tamil only 4 times in 11 attempts, quarterly and final exams included, between classes 6 to 8. Years later, when I was in class 11, I happened to barge into her classroom chasing a friend when she was teaching. She caught hold of me with anger in her eyes, reprimanded me so strongly that I still feel ashamed of my irresponsible behavior. Such was the bonding between the teacher and the student. The second incident involved my physics teacher, who was also my class teacher, Nagaratnam ma'am. One of my former classmates, whose father was transferred to Andamans, wanted me to accompany him to a movie on a working day. In spite of my reluctance, his continuous insistence compelled me to seek permission from Nagaratnam ma'am. She was very angry that I sought her permission to watch a movie, but she appreciated my frankness and permitted me to go, with a stern warning that not to repeat it again. I had an opportunity to meet her and pay my respects to her about 7-8 years back. Unfortunately, she is no more with us. For the entire batch, the time spent in school was the golden period of our life. After finishing my school in 1983, I did a 1-year course in secretarial practice while simultaneously doing my BA through correspondence. My first job was with a brewery as a steno secretary to the vice president legal. Subsequent to this, I had the opportunity to work with big organizations like the Press Trust of India, Canadian High Commission, Mon Exports India Private Limited, the Consulate of Niger, Shipra Group, to name a few, in different capacities, though most of them were interconnected with my core line of activity, secretarial and administration. I have had exposure in the field of protocol, editorial, administration, personnel, legal, liaison, and retail. Currently, since the last 10 years, I've been working with the current Attorney General for India, Sri K.K. Venugopal, as his private secretary. Working closely with such an eminent and senior person, both in age and stature, is in fact a matter of pride for me and a great learning experience, as I've learned a lot from him in life. If I were to stop here without mentioning the attributes of Venugopal sir, I would be doing great injustice, not only to him, but to myself also. He is by himself an ocean of knowledge, an epitome of perfection, and above all, a very good human being. An expert in constitutional law, he brings with him vast knowledge not only in the legal field, but also in other fields such as pisciculture, medicine, and farming, to name a few. For those who recollect Dr. Raju Ishwaran mentioning that he was the first person to receive the gold medal for being the topper, I would like to add here that the gold medal was instituted by Sri K.K. Venugopal in his late wife's name, Shanta Venugopal. Life has taught me different lessons at different stages of life. There have been ups and downs, but I've overcome them, and if I'm relatively successful today, the credit for that goes to my parents, and then this great institution, my teachers, who not only taught me maths, science, Tamil, and other subjects, but also told me how to become a good human being, a good citizen, a good member of not only my family, but the society at large. They helped me develop my hobbies, singing, playing cricket, and encouraged me in every aspect of my life. Their encouragement, inspiration, and above all, love and affection has made me what I am today. I would like to reiterate that DTA Motibagh has been and will continue to remain my temple of knowledge, and memories will linger on for many years to come. One such pleasant memory is that of one of my seniors, who fortunately is amidst us today and who brought laurels to the school, my senior and a state topper way back in 1978. Please welcome Jayashree Suresh with a big round of applause. I would like to extend to all teachers of DTA, past and present, my best wishes for a happy Teachers' Day, which will be celebrated next month prior to our next meet. Before concluding, I would like to thank all the moderators of the MEA DT alumni for letting me speak on this occasion. I'm extremely happy to say that the warmth and belongingness, which I thought was missing when I attended the first meeting, has today given way to a new and everlasting relationship with Banyan. I wish to be of assistance to Banyan in whatever manner I can, especially in the field of academics, sports, and culture. Thank you very much.